Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. I've got two topics for you today. My first topic is India decided to abstain from voting on the resolution denouncing Russia's violation of UN Charter. We have a fabulous relationship with Russia. But is that relationship of ours spoiling our relationship with the rest of the world? That's the topic we'll try and discuss today. That's my topic number one. My topic number two is quite interesting, is because it's about RSS, the Rashtra Swayam Sevak Sangh, where the General Secretary of RSS, that is Mr. Hosbade, he said that, you see, we have a serious problem with poverty, joblessness and economic inequality. Let's talk about that too. Let's get right into the show. So, like I said, the resolution denouncing Russia's violation of UN Charter got 10 votes. Russia opposed the resolution and, of course, vetoed it down. And India, along with China, Brazil and Gabon, abstained from voting. We abstained from voting, which technically means we helped Russia. We didn't want to make a comment against Russia, and therefore we abstained voting. But could we do anything other than that? Could we vote against Russia? Possibly no, because that would have spoiled a lot of our trade with Russia. That would have spoiled us getting a lot of defense equipment support from Russia. That would have spoiled a lot of gas requirements and petroleum requirements that we acquire from Russia. That would have spoiled our relationship with Russia, who technically is a very dear friend of India. That's the position. And definitely it wouldn't have been in India's interest to go against Russia. It wouldn't have been. There too, there is no doubt. But what is happening to us by supporting Russia? What is happening technically is we supporting Russia is taking us away from our relationship with Europe, is taking us away from our relationship with the US. So probably we are losing a lot of friends because we are standing by our best friend Russia. It's a very typical situation. But this situation is making us compromise on our political values, on the values that India always stood for. That too is a fact. But that being said, I am in no way, therefore, insinuating that, India should have gone against Russia, India should have voted against Russia, India should have voted, denouncing Russia for violation of UN Charter, annexing land in Ukraine. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that is what ideally India believes in. That is what India believes in. But we can't vote for the simple reason that we don't want to harm our relationship with Russia. And that harming that relationship with Russia will have economic and other impacts on India. Now, the Prime Minister of our country has gone out and told the Russian President Vladimir Putin that, listen, you know what, the era of war is gone. This is not the era of war, this is the era of peace. It's the era of economic growth. He has said this, but I don't know whether that has made any impact or not. Now, coming to the impact issue. You see, there was a statement made by our External Affairs Minister, Mr. S Jaishankar, on Saturday, day before yesterday, where he said that PM Modi called both Russian President Vladimir Putin, his Ukraine counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky, for a ceasefire for some time, that the Indian students can be safely removed and evacuated. So he said, Prime Minister Modi called up Vladimir Putin and Zelensky and said, hey, thoda der bombing band karo. Kya hai ki, हमारे बच्चे लोग को बाहर लेके आने का. So you just wait there. And lo and behold, bombing stopped and our kids were bought out. There was a spokesman called Arindam Bagchi, Minister of External Affairs spokesman, who had on 4th of March 2022 said,
extrapolating that to say that somebody is holding a bombing or that this is somewhere we are coordinating, that I think is absolutely inaccurate. I don't think if I could be more facetious, then it will extrapolate itself. So we would then order a resumption of bombing. I think that's really getting a bit much ahead of ourselves.
So what he says in this clip is, while a lot of people are talking about it, that, the bombing was stopped and all that, he says that, to extrapolate, that to say that somebody holding bombing, or that that there is something where we are coordinating, that is absolutely inaccurate. We didn't coordinate. हमारे बोलने से कोई bombing रुका नहीं. He said that in March. Mind you, Mr. Jaishankar is talking about it in September. He said this in March. ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं है. And he, of course, was blaming the media, because some media reported saying that, our good Prime Minister called up and said, hey, bombing ruka, and bombing stopped, and, our children were brought out and all of that. Okay. And the spokesperson said that, nothing of that sort happened. ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है. In external affairs and diplomacy and all, that one person calling away bombing ruka and वो सब होता नहीं है. So I wonder why such wrong informations are given to the people of our country. External affairs is one such field, one such subject that a lot of common man would run away from. They wouldn't want to interfere in external affairs, but I believe that every Indian has the right to know what is actually happening and where actually India stands as far as the globe is concerned. I think every Indian should know it, and that's precisely why I wanted to do this editorial, to tell you that we are supporting Russia because we don't have much of choice but to support Russia. We are supporting Russia because we have to take defense equipments from them. They have been standing by us whenever there has been a crisis. They have been standing by us and helping us economically, getting us better rates as far as gas and oil is concerned. So therefore, it is imperative for us to stand with Russia, while we may not necessarily agree to what Russia is doing. It may be against our political values, our thinking, but we still have to stand by Russia, and that's precisely what India is doing, and which to a certain extent, I think India is not doing anything wrong. We also need to understand, by standing with Russia, we are actually pushing away a lot of our acquaintances. We will not call them friends because they are fair weather friends. Acquaintances in Europe, America, a lot of these people are not very happy with the way India has been dealing with the Russian issue. So that too is something that a common man in India should believe. Secondly, the most important thing that the common man in India should believe is that because our Prime Minister calls up another Prime Minister or a President saying that, hey, bombing 2 minutes के लिए 5-10 minutes के लिए रुका दो भाई मेरा जरा गाड़ी जाने दो. All that doesn't happen in real life. All this doesn't happen in real life. I don't say this. Spokesperson of Ministry of External Affairs said this. I don't say this. It doesn't happen in real life. A lot of these are, according to him, a lot of it are media stories out of somewhere and not reality. He said it, I didn't. So that's my story number 1. Let's get into our story number 2. My story number 2 is about Mr. Hosbade, who is the General Secretary or Sar Karwaha of Rashtra Swayam Sevak Sangh, and the statement he made. The statement he made is, the poverty in the country is standing like a demon in front of us. It is important that we slay this demon. That 20 crore people are still below poverty line is a figure that should make us very sad. As many as 23 crore people have less than 375 rupees income per day. There are 4 crore unemployed youth in the country. The labor force survey says we have an unemployment rate of 7.6%. RSS General Secretary Dattatreya Hosbade said this. You know where he said? He said it in a webinar organized by RSS affiliate Swadeshi Jagran Manch, who is as a part of its Swabilambi Bharat Abhiyan. Now, Swabilambi Bharat Abhiyan, which has been underway for the past year, is an attempt of RSS to promote entrepreneurship and self-employment by boosting local rural economy. Okay, so it is boosting rural and local economy and all that. Now, he has spoken about a lot of other figures, but he has not actually meant and spoken about any figure of the Swabilambi Abhiyan and how many actual entrepreneurs they have developed, how many actual rural and local economies they have developed and all that. All that he has not spoken about, but it doesn't matter. What he is saying is correct. Any Indian, any administration should be worried about the fact that unemployment is growing. Any Indian, any administration should be worried about the fact that the inequality between the rich and the poor is growing at a tremendous pace. Any Indian, any administration should be worried about the fact that poverty is growing. Of course, they should be worried about this fact. But it is strange that the RSS is saying this. Because one of the most important things for an economy to grow is to have a tolerant society, a secular society, a society where there is peace and there is brotherhood and there is love. This particular society tends to grow economically faster. I don't say it. A Bristol University study says it. They studied the world and that's the conclusion. The first thing for economic stability, the first thing for growth of business comes if you have stability as far as tolerance is concerned. There is peace in the society. There is brotherhood in the society. That's when the society grows. That's when the society grows economically. Just by mere speaking about development and being worried about unemployment and being worried about entrepreneur not investing in India and no new entrepreneur happening in India and talking about words like Bharatiya economic model and all that which he just spoke about. All this sounds right, but does that actually result into something? If Rashtra Swayamsevak Sangh really wants India to grow, I think the first thing they should start doing is to spread the concept of peace. Equality is not just about economic equality. Equality should also be about caste, creed, religious equality. Rights for every citizen of this country. Peace for every citizen of this country. Safety for every citizen of this country. And see how the economy grows. But talking about love jihad and conversion and all that is not going to help economy at all. So good, Mr. Hosbale, good that he thinks that economy should grow, good that he thinks that entrepreneurship should grow, and good that he realized that there is unemployment in this country. But I guess if he really wants to do something about it, I think he should start by ensuring that RSS starts spreading peace, oneness, and equality amongst fellow Indians. That will be the best place and the best way to start this. Till I see you next time. That is day after tomorrow, Wednesday at 10 p.m. Namaskar.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.